Well, hello everyone. I want to welcome you to the call. My name is Josh Amundson, and it is an honor to be on this call with you guys right now. It's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, wherever you are in the world, obviously for you, your time zone, but you could be doing anything that you want right now, but you guys are tuning in so you can get better, right? And so if you don't know who my or who I am, right? Like I said, I'm Josh Amundson. I've been doing this business full time for six, approaching 7 years. And it has been an awesome experience, right? I had no idea what this business was going to do to my life, right? But a little bit about me, if you don't know who I am 27 years old. Someone said we got a power outage. I'm tuning in. Let's go. But I'm 27 years old. I started trading at 18 years old, right? I saw a guy on YouTube trading, and he was trading stock options, and so I decided I want to start actually learning the skill of trading at 18. Right. So that's how I got into it. If you guys have traded stock options before, somebody drop a one in the chat. Just one if you traded stock options before. See if anybody's traded that in here. Nobody traded stock options, huh? One man army, okay. But yeah, guys, I started with stock options and I put my only $500 I had in the account, or excuse me, in my account, in my trading account, and I eventually lost it, right? I had no idea what was going on. I didn't have a team, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have coaches, I didn't have people around me. I remember I was in college, I was begging my roommates. I'm like, let's just trade together, right? I wasn't in a company, I was doing it on my own. But at 19 years old, eventually I got into cryptocurrency. And that's when, my life started changing a lot. I trade crypto a lot. For those of you that don't know that, that's something that I primarily focus on is trading crypto. I made most of my money trading in my life from cryptocurrency, but I do other obviously styles of trading. Now, eventually, when I was about to graduate college, I found my first ever community and company that I was able to trade with, similar to what you just found now, right? And it changed my entire life, just being surrounded by people that wanted more, being surrounded by people that had similar goals, being surrounded by people that were positive, right? Guys, my entire life, I was around people that were negative, they were pissed off, they didn't want to talk about anything, positive in their life, right? Some of you probably have the same experience. You sit there and you really think about who are your best friends, who are your family members. Are they talking about negative stuff all the time? Right? Well, guess what? There were some people in my life that were doing that. You know what I had to do? I had to slowly remove them from my life because in order for me to go up, I had to give up. Right. So then I got into this business, guys. And I started doing personal development. I started hopping on calls just like this. We hold this call every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Anytime that you're on this call, guys, you're going to be able to hear from someone making six or more $1,000 a month, which is really, really powerful on these one mission mentorship calls. We also have Tuesday, or excuse me, we also have Saturday, which are super Saturday calls from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Now, these are business hours, right? So when I got started, my mentors, Matthew Thayer, Joey Wilson, they sat me down and they told me what business hours are, right? Here in this business, ladies and gentlemen, you're not forced to do anything, right? We are all here on this call right now, all here in this company, this beautiful company, Akashx, because we want to be here, right? We are a volunteer army. However, these calls are mandatory if you want to have success. That's just the reality of it. Okay. So I learned that right when I got started, guys, 6, 7 years ago. Never miss them. Right. So really, really important. This journey's been awesome, guys. It took me 2 years and 1 month to get the $10,000 a month. And I just put my head down and I got to work. I knew that if I went and worked a normal job, I would probably never be financially free the rest of my life, right? So I got started in a business where I could get paid off of my efforts, right? I wanted a business where I could determine how much money I'm able to make. And that's the reality of it here, ladies and gentlemen, is you can determine your size of the check that you're getting every month. You can make unlimited amounts of money in trading. You can make unlimited amounts of money in the comp plan, but it's how much work are you going to put in to actually have success inside this business? You know what I mean? What did I do when I got started, right? I figured out who is crushing it in the business, who is crushing it with trading, right? And what I did is once I learned who was actually doing it, I decided, okay, I'm going to copy everything that person's doing. Because here's the thing I learned in this business, guys. If you pick a coach and a mentor that has the results that you want, right? All you have to do is this. You just do what they do, say what they say, and act how they act. And eventually you're going to get what they have every single time, right? Now, if you don't, let's say you've been in the business for a while, right? Ask yourself, whoever has the results that you want, have you been to a T doing what they're doing, saying what they're saying, and acting how they're acting? If you haven't been, that's probably why you haven't, gotten closer to those results. You have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone because guess what? That coach or mentor that you picked, they stepped outside their comfort zone. All these, beautiful speakers you guys saw on today's call, Josh Waggle, right? Matthew Thayer, Joey Wilson, Ali Saleh, right? All these different leaders you saw, they were not the same leaders you see today 10 years ago. I remember Matt and Joey 7 years ago, right? I remember them, right? I was 20 years old. They were 27 years old. It's funny that I'm 27 now. Guys, they're not even the same people that they were 7 years ago, right? It's the same thing with all of us, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to pick a coach and a mentor and I want you to copy and do everything that they're doing to their business and to their life and how hard they're working and you'll attract those same results. Okay. Now, a couple things I want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, is we obviously have the presentation call tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. And huge shout out to everyone who's been packing that out, man. I know Alan on this call been going crazy. I know TK's been going crazy. Lots of people on here getting that call packed out. I believe there's 172 people registered on the call right now. Absolutely crazy, right? We're going to be able to have a seven-figure earner, multi-seven-figure earner on the call too at the end of it. Once we go through the information for all your guys' new guests, but huge shout out to everyone that's on there. And now, one last thing too is we have 4 days left, including today, 4 days left for the Scottsdale Mega Mansion Retreat, which is super awesome. Anybody who hits the 10K rank or above is going to be able to stay in an $8 million mansion out in Scottsdale, Arizona, with the top earners inside of the United States. Super, super powerful. There's people that are going that, aren't even a part of the organization that's running it, which is super cool. I mean, you're going to be able to meet like industry legends at this mansion, which is awesome, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do more incentive trips throughout the year. We're going to do more travel promotions, right? And not just company ran ones. I'm talking about ones that are ran with actual teams, right? I'm talking about, possibly a Cancun trip, right? Where we all are able to go out to Cancun. I'm talking about being able to go out to like Lake Powell and go surfing. All right. There's a lot of different things that we could possibly do. Cabin mansions in, the mountains of Colorado. There's a bunch of cool things that we're going to be able to do. Make sure you got your passport ready, guys, because we're going international with it too. Don't get me wrong. Now, just a couple things, guys. For those of you that are obviously wanting to, go out and smack a high rank inside this business, those of you that are wanting to go out and accomplish something big, right? When I got started in this business, my mentor told me your minimum goal, if you actually want to become a business owner inside of here, your minimum goal is 10,000 a month. He's like, whatever you want to do after that, it's up to you, but your minimum goal should be 10,000 a month. Right. So your goal in this company, guys, if you should want financial freedom, you should want guaranteed money, right? Trading's cool. Trading is active income. Every day you have to trade, you have to go out there and make that money, right? What's cool is when you build a business that gives you residual income, you make that forever, which is really, really awesome as long as you have that business, right? But anybody who's really wanting to go level up this year, I want you to drop a 7 in the chat. Okay, I want you to drop a 7 in the chat. All right, who's trying to actually go out and hit a 6 freaking figure rank this year? Okay. Maybe you were in the business beforehand. Maybe you've been in it for a while, right? But who actually wants to get it done this year? Okay. Well, here's the reality of it. All right. I was talking to some leaders, today. I actually am going to see if that person's on this call. I'm not sure if they are, but yeah, they are on this call. What's going on? Okay. So I was talking to some leaders today. And what I've seen a lot of people do in this industry is they treat this like a sales job. You know what I mean? They treat it like a sales job and they're out there just like, telling people what we do, which is awesome, right? You're changing people's lives, exposing them to our platform. Do not get me wrong. I love it, right? Helping people change their life. But getting someone to join this company, the best trading platform on the entire planet, free $10,000 challenge account, tap the trade, amazing community, huge academy, live sessions, trade alerts. It's not hard to get someone to join for 149 bucks, right? The hard part is helping them have success once they're in the business. That's where the magic is. Okay. This is otherwise known as retention in your business, right? How many people that you have get started actually stay in the business? How many people that you get started actually have success in the business? What I see a lot of people do, and I'm not calling out anyone at all, right? I just figured we could talk about this on the call. This is kind of all on the spot because one of the leaders wasn't able to get on the call tonight, for a good reason. But essentially, when you have someone get started, guys, what I see a lot of leaders do is they put all this effort and energy, all this time into getting them to join. But then once their new person joins, they give very little time to them. They rush through the setup call. They rush through getting their services connected. They rush through giving them expectations. They're like, I just got to get this call done, right? Was anybody? I don't even want to ask. I was gonna say who here was rushed through their onboarding process. I'll expose the colors, right? Listen, the most important part about this business is when someone joins, it's nurturing and being, compassionate and giving time to help them get set up. Okay. If you're wondering why you have X amount of people join every month and then X amount of people quit every month, and you're like, it feels like business just goes up and down, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're not setting them up for success, right? Some people rush through a Zoom call just to get it done so they can get on to the next. Okay. And this pertains to a lot of people inside this business, right? I was one of those people at one point, like 6 years ago. I learned very quick though. Some people rush through getting their people set up. They rush through getting their services connected. They rush through all this stuff. And guess what happens when you rush through it? People get confused. And what do confused minds do? Can someone put it in chat? What does a confused mind do? Ladies and gentlemen, someone in the chat, give up. That's pretty close. Nothing. That's a good one. A confused mind does nothing, or they give up and they quit. So when someone joins your business, you have to give them compassion. You have to donate time to them. You know how long my onboarding calls are with my people when I get them started? Probably an hour. Some of you are like, I got to get this person set up within 10 minutes because I got to go show a bunch of new people. Hey, that's cool and all, but have fun having an up and down business. Okay. You don't want to have to keep rebuilding your businesses over and over and over, right? So treat the onboarding process with care, with compassion, with, all utmost seriousness. Okay. Because what's going to happen is if you can set that person up so they have a clear trading plan, they have all their services connected, you give them proper expectations about how long it's going to take to become successful in trading, right? And then you also do something called the 48-hour rule, which if you don't know what the 48-hour rule is, reach out to me. I'll tell you what it is. This is how you can build your business really fast, right? Until I learned what the 48-hour rule was, I always had a small business. Okay. Once I learned this rule and I always used it and then I taught it to other leaders, that's when everything started to change. But imagine this, you put all this time into the onboarding call. And now I always tell people on the call, listen, I do not expect you to remember everything that we're going over on this call. Right. And then, they reply to me, they're like, oh, thank goodness. Like, how could I remember all this stuff? Right. I tell them you don't have to remember everything, right? I just want to go through it just to make sure we at least did it, right? But what I do want you to do is I want you to always ask me questions. Just blow my phone up with questions. Questions about anything that you possibly have. And why do I want them to do that? Because the more questions they ask, the faster they become independent and the quicker they are to help someone on their own time. That's why I want people to ask me questions. I want them to learn how to do this business. I want them to learn how to be independent in all aspects, right? And I'm not trying to push them, get them away from me. I'm trying to build them up into a leader. Every single person on this call, your goal this year should to become the best possible version of yourself in terms of all aspects, but in leadership, right? Leaders are the most important thing in the world, in my opinion. Right? That's just my opinion, right? Guys, there's leaders in every single country. There's leaders in every city. There's leaders in every state. There's leaders in every sports teams. There's leaders in every church. There's leaders in every organization. Become a leader. This world needs more leaders, right? And so, in order to be a good leader, you have to understand that not everyone is starting from the same point. Some people get started and they already have trading experience. Some people get started, they already have sales experience. They already have, all these different skills that they've acquired through other experiences, right? Then someone gets started sometimes that has no skills. They've never really done anything in their life to build up their skill sets or themselves. Everyone starts at a different level. Okay, so when you're on the call, you're telling them it's okay, you don't have to remember all this stuff, but I want to just make sure you have a good idea of what we have to do. Imagine this. If you do such a good setup call to your new people, I'm telling you, this is the secret. A lot of people build it fast and they lose it faster. If you can give time, invest time into your new people to help them become independent, take time on these calls with them, right? You don't have to overload them with information and teach them everything you know about trading, but make sure they have a clear cut plan. They have everything set up. They understand when the business hours are, they understand expectations, all this. Well, if you do that to someone, they're probably going to stay active in the business 6, 12 plus months, multiple years because of that 1 hour you dedicated to them for getting them set up. A lot of people get tons of signups in this business, but they just try to set them up at the speed of light. And then they're like, why is my team falling? And it's like, how good of a leader were you? How well did you actually set up your people? I was taught right away, set your people up for success. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know, there's a bunch of different onboarding systems throughout the company, but this is the one that we use right here. So I'll just drop this in here. You can take or do whatever it is that you please with it. I'll make it an actual link so you guys can click on it or highlight it or whatever the heck you want to do. But that's the link that we use for our onboarding system. Okay. There's a lot of other ones too. Feel free to use whatever you want. I go through that like a checklist with them. You know what I mean? I ask my brand new people, how much money are you trying to make on a monthly basis? And they're like, I would love to make 5,000 bucks a month. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, how many hours a week are you willing to put in to accomplish $5,000 a month? And they're like, and I'm like, okay, how many hours a day times it by seven? They're like, I could do 2 to 3 hours a day. And I'm like, all right, 14 to 21 hours a week. Okay. So 14 to 21 hours a week is what they're willing to do. And then I say, and how long do you want to get it done? How long are you willing to do this for? 14 to 21 hours a week to get $5,000 a month done. And they're like, I'm willing to do it for 6 months. And I tell them, I'm like, hey, listen, the reason I ask those goals is so one, I can see how big you're thinking, but two, now I know if it's a realistic goal or not. Now, getting 6 months done, in 6 months at 14 to 21 hours a week, making 5,000 bucks every single month, that's doable, but I would say they got to put in a little bit more hours, right? They got to do a little bit more hours a week. The reason I asked that question, guys, is because some people don't have the right expectations. Some people get started, they're like, I want to make $50,000 a month. I saw a guy on Instagram doing it. And you're like, all right, let's run it up. There's no cap. You can do whatever you want here. Okay. So they want to make 50,000 a month, they tell me. They're like, I'm willing to put in 40 to 50 hours a week. I'm like, that's great. We're on the right track. And they're like, and I want to get it done in the next 30 to 60 days. And I'm like, ooh, that's where we're going to have to adjust something. One of those numbers has to change. Either less money that you want to make on a monthly basis, more hours in the week, which you're already maxing out pretty much at, but you can do more, right? Or you got to extend the amount of time you're willing to do it for to actually accomplish it. This is giving expectations in people's heads, right? So all these different things are super, super important, guys. The last thing that I'll quickly share, and then I'm going to pass it over to the next speaker, is I want to teach you guys the different levels, the different phases in this business that people go through. Okay. Now, listen, if you don't have a notebook out, I want you to write this down. Okay. I'm not on this call just telling you guys this stuff for fun. I see Cody going to town with the notebook, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I want you guys to write this down. Okay. Because you're going to be able to teach this to people in the future. The first thing I want you to write down is write down unconscious incompetence. Okay. Unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. And in parentheses next to it, to the right, I want you to write down they don't know what to do. So don't know what to do. Plus, they're not doing anything. Okay. This is when people don't know what they're supposed to be doing and they're not doing anything in general. They're unconscious about what they're supposed to be doing and they're incompetent about not doing anything in general. That's where most people start. You don't know what you don't know. And since you don't know what you don't know, you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. So you're not doing anything. Okay. The next one is conscious incompetence. Okay. Conscious incompetence. This is where you now know what you need to be doing. You discovered it. You found out what you're supposed to be doing, but you're still not doing it. Okay. Conscious incompetence is phase two, where you now know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're still not doing anything. Okay. Conscious incompetence. The third one, the third phase that people go through is conscious competence. Okay. Conscious competence. All right. This is where you know what you're supposed to be doing and you're actually doing it. Okay. Conscious competence. You know what you're supposed to be doing and you're actually doing it. At this phase, right? You're getting shit done. You know what I mean? You're crushing goals. You're getting stuff done. But most people at this phase, they're having to force themselves to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. You're building a habit, you're building a lifestyle, you're being consistent, you're trying to ingrain it into your brain, right? But you know what you're supposed to do and you're actually doing it. Now, here's the fourth phase, okay? The fourth phase that every single one of you will eventually want to get to. Okay, this is the fourth phase. Unconscious competence. Unconscious competence. All right. This is where you're doing what you're supposed to do every single day and you don't even realize it. You're unaware that you're doing everything you're supposed to do every single day. This is called flow state. This is where you have gone through the reps, you've gone through the consistency, you've been plugging into the systems, hopping on the calls, prospecting, presenting, promoting, trading, using the products and services, doing personal development, posting on social media, growing your business, growing your mindset, right? Growing your team. You've been doing it so long now that now you can do it every day on autopilot. You don't even have to think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called flow state. And this is the best state to be in because it's effortless almost to build this business. You're unconscious the whole time you're actually doing everything you got to do because you're so used to it. It's like imagine this. For those of you that go to the gym a lot, and anybody just a gym freak in here, drop a one in the chat. I know Werner's in here, but come on, let's get some ones going. Anybody just love the gym? The gym is life. You've been going to the gym for years. Okay? Well, I would be willing to bet that you don't have to think about going to the gym. You don't have to make an effort for it. It's part of who you are, right? It's part of who you are. I'll type it up when I'm done speaking, and we have the next speaker come up, okay? But it's a part of who you are. You don't even have to think about going to the gym, right? If you didn't go to the gym, it would be weird. That would throw you off, right? It's the same thing with this business. Unconscious competence. You're doing what you have to do every single day for your business to grow in a positive, healthy direction without even realizing it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I am in this business. It took time to get there. There's other people on this call that are there too. It's flow state. It's where you've built so many days, stacked so many wins on top of themselves inside of this business that you don't even have to think about it. You just do all the daily goals. You take care of all the daily tasks. You help all the team members, all the leaders. You do presentations, prospect, you post on social media. You're doing all the different things every single day to push the ball forward, to push the needle forward on autopilot. Right? So the way you get to that point is one, you need to figure out what you got to do to win. We have something called the daily goals if you're building the business. Okay. For those of you that don't have the daily goals, I'm going to go ahead and drop them in the chat. All right. Here's the daily goals right here. Those are what we got to do every single day. Okay. Now, once you figure out what you got to do, you got to start forcing yourself to do them every single day. In the beginning, right, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel not part of your schedule, abnormal. But after a period of time, you start getting the hang of it. You start doing it every day. And then eventually, you're going to be doing the goals on autopilot. That's what you want to get to, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? It all starts with you being consistent. taking the first step and then every day taking another step for your business. It's how many days can you stack wins in a row? Most people, what they do in this business, guys, they look at those daily goals. They're like, okay, prospect 10 people a day, post on social media three to five times a day. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm so excited, right? This is usually a new person. And I'm not saying this is bad because I know, we have, obviously launch calls tonight. But what some people do is when they're in the business, they randomly get a whiff of motivation, and they go message like 100, 200 people in a day. And then the next day they message 100, 200 people, right? They're blasting social media, blasting messages out. But then they burn out, right? I don't believe in burning out. I believe you're uninspired, right? But people then stop doing the daily goals every single day. So now it's not a win stacked, not a win stacked, not a win stacked, right? You did nothing all these days in a row. Sometimes 2 months later, you're like, I haven't done anything, right? It's better to be consistent on something you're able to manage every day, right? That's why we say prospect 10 new people a day. Same with going to the academy. You don't have to finish the entire trading academy in one day. Go through 30 to 60 minutes a day. Chip away at it. Okay. So, with that being said, guys, hope you guys got some value on that. We have the other guest speaker on here, which is a phenomenal guy. He's a good buddy of mine. I'm super excited to see him out in Scottsdale, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. But guys, I remember getting started in this business. It was 6 years ago. He was actually in the business too. He was like the youngest person in the entire business. I don't even think he was legally old enough to be in the business at that point. But I remember when I was meeting a man, and this dude was just on fire. And he was just a kid, right? He was so on fire. And, he showed up to every single event. He hopped on all the calls. He did tons of personal development, and he just stayed at it for years. And now the gentleman that he's turned into today is phenomenal, right? He's a profitable trader, absolutely crushing it, guys. He has tons of testimonials to our products and services. He went out and hit the 25K rank inside of this company, which guess what? That's a team of over 250 people. That's absolutely crazy, guys. That right there is literally, I would say, probably top 5 to 1% of this entire industry, just reaching that rank right there. So he's a phenomenal leader, guys. He has great information that he's about to share with you on this call, right? And I watched all the years of this guy coming up and having success. And now the dude's jacked, he's healthy, he's driving around an AMG, Mercedes out in Scottsdale, Arizona. But he has great value that came with it. Okay. So I'm going to pass it over to him, guys. He's going to go. But listen, make sure you're taking notes on the stuff that he's going to be talking about, because he's not just going to spew motivation, right? He's going to teach you actual bolts and screws on how he was able to go get Noah Ortiz into the business, right? This gentleman enrolled Noah Ortiz into the business, right? And tons of other leaders. He's going to teach you how he does that stuff. Okay. So make sure you have a notebook out, because you'll forget 95% of it, what he's going to say if you don't write it down. Okay. So, with that being said, guys, drop some ones in the chat for Matthew Werner. Let's go, baby. Oh, I got to go ahead and unmute you, don't I? 1 second, bro. Okay. Gotcha.
Hey Josh, do I look smarter with the glasses on here?
Oh, you do. You do definitely.
When I wear them, I look like Harry Potter, so I'm not gonna get roasted. I'm not trying to get roasted on this call, so I'm just gonna keep them like this. But what's going on, guys? Josh, Jay, I appreciate you guys for inviting me on this call, letting me train on something that I'm really passionate about. I mean, I've been doing this whole social media, organic outreach game for the last 6 years, and it's done me very well. Like Josh was saying, I was able to enroll Noah and a few other key leaders that that are inside of Akashx. And I'm just gonna go over some quick little stuff. I mean, like Josh said, I'm not gonna be spewing out motivation on this call. It's just gonna be stuff that's gonna actually add value to your business. But if you don't know who I am, I'm born and raised out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up family of seven. So for me, money was always really tight. And I was really passionate about the sport of wrestling, gymnastics. I ended up taking gymnastics a little bit further. Senior year, I had a new head coach come in, and that was AJ Sandberg. Now, AJ couldn't make the call tonight. His kid's been really sick. So praying for his kid. I mean, he's a fighter. The kid's an absolute unit in gymnastics. He's only like 7 years old, but I think he's doing a lot better. But yeah, I wish AJ was on the call tonight, but Josh basically covered what AJ was going to be speaking about. But AJ was my gymnastics coach, and he was connected with people like Joey Wilson, Matt Thayer. And I saw AJ posting this stuff on his stories, this trading stuff. And I was like, Coach, what are you doing, man? Like, what do you got going on? Like, I know you're coaching, but what's the side thing that you got going on? And he showed me a company that me, Josh, Jay were a part of for a couple, we were a part of it for a couple of years. That was actually what got us into this industry. And we learned a lot in that company. But yeah, AJ got me started. And I mean, for my first couple of years, I was working a job while building this business. I wasn't able to fully go all in right away. So I ended up walking away from my job about 4 years ago, was able to save up enough money to go all in on this business. And I mean, since then, I've been able to travel all over the world, live in some pretty dope places around the country, meet some really successful people. And obviously, I've been able to create a lot of success for myself, have a lot of fun, invest some money into certain plays that have been able to create me a lot of money. And it wouldn't have been possible without Akashx. I mean, a year ago, I literally, I walked away from the previous company that me, Josh, and Jay were a part of, and I didn't do anything. I didn't have my name attached to no network marketing company, no trading platform. I was actually, I had, I guess you could say, like an agency. I was working with network marketers, so I always had my foot in the door. I love the network marketing industry. I always had my foot in the door in network marketing, regardless of me taking a step away from it or not. But this last year, me not building my network marketing business, I was helping other leaders in different companies, top earners. I was helping them build their network marketing business, utilizing this exact system that I'm going to walk you guys through. Now, before I go and lay out how to actually go about reaching out to people, finding your niche market, what to say it, how to convert people onto a Zoom call and close them and onboard them, before I go over all of that, I want to go over personal branding because I truly believe that is like the key ingredient to actually being able to convert people into your Akashx business. Now, what I always tell people to do, my brand new person, when they get started and I want to help them create their personal brand, I tell them you got to start creating content on your social media every single day designed around your day-to-day life. Just be you and post you. Now, an easy rule of thumb is posting these three pillars: health, wealth, and relationships. Obviously, wealth can fall under Akashx, health can be fitness, and then relationships, you can be out at dinners with your team or with your family, whatever. Like that's an easy rule of thumb. Okay, let me at least post three pieces of content on my stories, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Snapchat every single day of those three pillars: health, wealth, and relationships. And just post you having fun, man, building your Akashx business. Whether it's adding and whether it's like this call right here, like getting a video, posting on your stories, just doing that every single day. Like Josh was saying before, like, yeah, you can reach out to a few hundred people for 6 days, but then you stop for a couple days. Like people can sense that and they're not going to trust you. So if you just commit to posting maybe a couple times every day on your story for 6 months, I promise you, those people that are watching you, they're going to trust you a lot more. So when you then make the decision to reach out to that person, they're going to be a lot more likely to be open what you have to say. So, personal branding, create content every day. Three pillars: health, wealth, relationships. I always like saying this because it's it's kind of funny. Maybe it's kind of corny, whatever. But I like to look at social media as like, okay, you kind of want to be the drug dealer. You don't want to be the consumer. You want to be the dealer, man. Start creating more content. Get into your creative flow and just post what you think is cool. Don't second guess yourself. Really, you want to be as authentic as possible. Just post what you want. Obviously, I get a lot of inspiration from other leaders like Josh, Jay, Noah, Joey, Thayer, Alex, all these top earners in the industry. But at the end of the day, post what you want and say it how you want to say it, because it's going to be a lot easier once again when when you decide to reach out to certain people, they're just going to trust you a lot more, and people can smell the bullshit is what I'm saying. So post more content, become the dealer, not the consumer. Stop, watch less content, post more content. Okay. And you want to really focus on those three pillars when you're posting on your social media: health, wealth, and relationships. And then also, you want to add value on your social media. Try to add value as much as possible. And you may think like, oh, I don't have any skill sets. I don't have anything that I can add value to. Like I don't know anything. That's false, man. There's something that you're really passionate about that you can just get up, grab your camera, show your face, and just start ripping it. Whether it's sports, whether it's cooking, whether it's relationship advice, whether it's how to become a good father, like there's something that, or video games, there's something that you're passionate about that you can start posting on your social media to add value. And this is going to cater into finding your niche market and who to reach out to. So you want to add value on your social media as much as possible. And I talk about a lot on my social media experiences I've overcame that helps resonate with a lot of people because they're like, oh, this dude, he's look at it like this. Okay, let's say you commit a whole year posting on your social media, health, wealth, relationships, you just living an amazing life, focusing, becoming better. This a lot of these prospects that are watching you, they're gonna be like, this guy is just having a great time. Like nothing bad ever happens to him. So when you post about things that you've overcome or things that you're going through right now and you tailor it with a solution. Don't just talk about your problems without a solution. If you're going to post it on social media, talk about your problem, but then I think this might be a good solution that will help me overcome it. What do you guys think? And you can start building a little back and forth with your following. But that's what's helped me a lot is just talk about things that you've overcome. You have value that you can post on your social media. So health, wealth, relationships, add value, as in talk about experiences you've overcame, things that you're learning right now, all of that. And while you're doing that, you want to then find your niche. Now, you want to do this, you want to figure out your niche before you just start blasting people on social media. You want to figure out, once again, what am I passionate about? What can I talk about all day without getting paid? Maybe it's football, maybe it's music, maybe it's um, psychology, I don't know, like whatever it is, find that niche and then go to your social media, go to Facebook group pages, join those chats, go to Instagram, go to the location of where you think that niche would be. Start thinking outside of the box of where your target niche is. And once you find where your target niche is, what age they are, what gender they are, what they look like, what they do for a living, and you start to then post that on your social media, you start to reach out to that niche. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be able to bridge that gap so much easier, and you're going to really be able to build trust a lot faster with those people if you do that. So post on your social media, find your niche, and now we'll get into the outreach. So like now that you've found your niche, okay, this is the type of person, this is the ideal person that I want into my business that I could build a dope relationship with, regardless if we built Akashx or not. We could just have a great time. Now that you found that person, this right here has honestly made me so much money. Here, I'm gonna copy it and I'll put it in the group chat, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it step by step. Okay, so I've spent years finding different outreach messages. This one for cold market is honestly worked the best. It's, hey, their name. I know this is random, but I came across your page. You seem like a dope dude or whatever. You can change that part right there. Are you open to an income opportunity? It's as simple as that. And you're either going to get a yes, no, or maybe. And if you get a yes or a maybe, from there, you're just going to send a voice message. No, do not send a text message. Send a voice message because they're going to hear your tonality and they're going to know that you're not a fucking bot. Okay. No text messages after that. Voice messages only. And you don't want to keep this voice message long. You want to be probably about a minute, but in that second, so once they respond like, hey, I'm open to taking a look. What do you got going on? Uh, you're going to then send them a voice message, basically sharing your story. So I'll use a couple examples so that you can get a good idea of how to craft your story with this voice message that I'm talking about. Now, mine, this is pretty simple. Hey, what's going on, man? I know this is random. I came across your page. Just a little bit about myself. That way, we're not complete strangers. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up in a big family. Money for us was always really tight. I was really passionate about the sport of gymnastics, was doing that 18 hours a week year round, traveling all over the country, doing events. My senior year, I had a new head coach come in, and this guy was working with some really successful people that had the results that I wanted. They had time, money, location freedom, and they said they could teach me how to do that. And at the time, I didn't know anyone that successful, Bob, that could teach me how to do that. So I gave it a shot. Fast forward 6 years later, my life looks completely different. I was able to walk away from my job 4 years ago. And since then, I've been able to do this thing full time, travel all over the world, and create a ton of success. And I'm reaching out to you because, once again, you seem like a dope ass dude, and we're looking to create more success stories. So if I send you over some information, would you be open to taking a look? That right there has helped me enroll over 1,000 people in my business personally, 6 years, all through social media. Now, another one, we've worked with Joey Wilson a lot. You know, I have a very close relationship with him. I actually am living with him down here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Here's his voice message. This is what I would send after I sent that original outreach message. It's very similar. It's very similar. There's only a couple things that you're going to tweak when it comes to you sending out your personalized voice message to your potential prospect. Hey, what's going on, man? Obviously, we don't know each other, so just a little bit about myself. That way, we're not complete strangers. I'm from a small town outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I worked at LA Fitness in my early 20s, and one day a really successful guy walked in the door and he said he could teach me how to become financially free. And I'm like, what are we talking about? But he handed me over a CD and he said, you don't know what you don't know. So I at least heard him out. I popped the CD in, heard this guy's story. He ended up quitting his practice being a doctor to do this industry, and he's made over $50 million in it. I didn't know anyone that's successful saying they could teach me how to do that. So I gave it a shot. Fast forward 12 years later. Now, this is the power of social media branding. Fast forward, this is literally what I would say in Joey Wilson's voice message, and we've put a lot of people in from it. Fast forward 12 years later, you can check the timeline, man. I've documented everything on my Instagram, and it's allowed me to create this life. And I'm reaching out to you because you seem like a cool dude, and we're looking to create more success stories. If I shoot you over some information explaining what I do, how I've been able to do it, would you be open to taking a look? So that's the power of social media branding. Like with Joey's results, you don't even have to tell people how much you made. Bro, take a look for yourself. The results speak for themselves. And, and there's many other voice messages that I sent out. Like I said, when I was building that like agency, I worked with a couple other top earners that are actually on this call, and we curated that voice message. We'd send it out, and then from there, after they listen to that voice message, they're either going to be like, yeah, I'm open to taking a look, or no. If not, it's all good. Like, we're just looking for the ones that are looking for us. So let's say they say yes. Yeah, I'm open to taking a look, man. Awesome. Now, I love the power of leverage. I understand if I want to build a massive organization, I cannot do everything by myself. That's why we have Josh and Jay and Noah and all of these top earners. They give us, they're almost like tools in a sense. They are tools to make your job 10 times easier. Josh and Jay are hosting a presentation tonight at, what is it, 9 p.m. Central Time. And then Noah has a presentation at 7 p.m. Central Time that you can invite guests onto so that they can check out the platform. So that second voice message, once they say, yeah, I'm open to taking a look, I would literally just say this. Awesome. We have a Zoom call tonight at 8 p.m. Central explaining what I do and how it all works. All you would have to do is just listen in. You wouldn't have to talk. You wouldn't have to show your face. We'll actually have guests on that call just like yourself. And then after that Zoom call, if it makes sense to you, we can lock arms and get you set up. So if I shoot you over that link for the call tonight, would you be able to hop on and at least just take a look? And then from there, let's say they say yes. Yeah, awesome. I'll hop on the Zoom call tonight. Then you send them over the Zoom link and you follow up with them a few hours before the call starts, an hour before the call starts, 30 minutes before the call starts, 15 minutes before the call starts, when the call is live. Hey, are you on the call? Make sure that they're on the call. And then from there, your job is basically done. That's literally all I've done for the last 6 years and how I was able to enroll over 1,000 people in the business personally. By doing that, I just leverage the experts. I convert them onto the nightly Zoom call, or let's say, hey man, I can't make that Zoom call, or I can never make that time actually. You can just then send them over a recording, or even do a 2-on-1. Like you could figure out a time that they're free and get maybe Josh, and he can hop on the Zoom call and he can do the presentation with your prospect. But It's really that simple, man. You send out the original message. If they're open to taking a look, you share your story and then tailor it. If I send you over some information, would you be open to taking a look? From there, if they say yes, you then just, your goal is to get them on the nightly Zoom call so that they can check out the information. Let the experts do the work. You can make a shit ton of money just by leveraging the top earners in this business, and it will make your job so much easier. So, that's that's literally what I've done. That's how I've been able to go out and have the success that I've been able to have is really utilizing social media, the power of building a personal brand. If you haven't started building your personal brand, I'd suggest you to start tonight. Put three pieces of content up tonight: health, wealth, and relationships. Focus on those three pillars and commit to it for a season of your life, man. You don't have to be on. I talk to a lot of OGs, a lot of a lot of old heads. They're like, "Oh man, that social media game. Like, I don't know about that. Like, that's not where I'm from. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. Like, we don't show our faces on social media. Like, man, if you just commit to a season of your life and post on social media and you add value and you share your life, and then you also have an offer to tie whatever it is that you're promoting to Akashx. If you can tailor that offer on your social media, like, you can make a lot of money on social media. You can honestly make so much money all off the power of your phone right here, building Akashx. Leverage social media. It's a lot easier than you think it is. You just got to start. You got to start creating content in the beginning. It's very uncomfortable putting your face behind a camera or or even just being vulnerable. But I can promise you, if you be vulnerable on social media and you can tie that story of whatever you overcame with a solution, and you can help someone else, they're going to be a lot more likely to join your network marketing business. So, personal brand, and then find your niche market. Once you found your niche market, start reaching out to them. Use the steps that I sent you. I think this call is going to be recorded, so you can go back to it and listen to exactly how I tailor the voice messages so that they convert to the Zoom call. And then, oh, this is probably a great question. I didn't get to finish that. After the Zoom call, if you're brand new, I suggest you to do the third party validation. So, hey, I just hopped off the Zoom call. From there, you're going to throw that prospect in a group chat with your leader, Jay, Josh, Noah, Tippa, whoever, Marissa, whoever it may be. You're going to put them in a three-way group chat on social media and you're going to edify your leader. Just like how Josh edified me. If he didn't edify me, some of you that don't know me, you guys may have, if he didn't edify me, you guys may have looked at me a little differently. Because Josh edified me the way that he did, you guys are like, oh, wow, this person is someone of value. So make sure you edify your leader after when you put them in their group chat after they check out the information. So get the third party validation, edify your leader, and then also edify your prospect. uh, Hey Josh, this is my buddy John. I reached out to him today on Instagram. I came across his page through here. Me and him have some mutual grounds with this. He's really excited. I know he has a lot of potential to win with this business. Josh, you get what I'm saying? Like, add value, uh, edify your leader, edify your prospect, and then from there, let your leader do the work. Stop trying to be the expert. You can make a lot of money, like I said before, if you just leverage the tools that we have, leverage the experts that are available to us. So, third party validation, and then from there, however you guys close people. For me, I'm really just all about the numbers and the follow up. So, like, I don't really try to convince or sell anyone. I'm just showing people, and if it's for them, great. If not, it's all good. Well, at least stay connected, and they'll watch my social media because I'm focusing on building my personal brand. I'm constantly creating content, adding value, living my life, posting about Akashx, people ranking up, people having success. Eventually, if you follow up with that person enough and they're watching you, they're all going to get started. I can promise you that. They will literally all get started. Take it from me. So I'm going to wrap up the call with that, guys. I appreciate you for hopping on the call. Josh, Jay, I appreciate you guys for giving me the time to speak on this call. This is a topic that I'm really passionate about, as you could tell, and it's worked for me. And if it can work for me, I know it can work for you. So I'll pass it back to you, Josh. Thank you very much, bro.
Dude, you absolutely crushed that. Guys, drop some sevens in the chat for Mr. Werner, baby. That was awesome, dude. I know Carson just got on here. He's like, what did I miss? All right. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that was awesome, dude. You know what's crazy? It's like I watched you grow and get so much better at, everything you were just teaching on, like obviously prospecting, relatability, personal branding. Like, I remember when I first got started in the business, like I was like, dude, this kid's got a freaking better brand than me right now. But obviously I didn't have a brand, but I came in and I saw clean photos, you put time into your brand, and then you just got better and better and better at actually prospecting people, guys. And it's Joey Wilson talks about it on the call today. He's like, there's four aces in a deck of cards, right? And he's just flipping them. Warner was doing the same freaking thing, just flipping them, flipping them, flipping them, talking to new people, and boom, he got Noah, right? And if you can land two of those, you're set, right? You are set. Okay. So with that being said, guys, the calls will go on for an hour, but we have 55 minutes until the presentation call tonight. Hey, in the chat, real quick, I want everyone to drop how many people they got registered for tonight. If they have to ballpark it, how many people you got registered for tonight? Let's see. We got five people from Courtney. Let's go. 10. Okay, Marissa, 3 coming in hot. iPhone 3. Nice. Who else? How many people we got registered for the call tonight? 7. I messaged 12. Awesome. We got 10 from Warner, 7 from Tippa. Who else? Guys, there's 180 people registered on this thing. I know it was more than just this group right here. Come on. Who else did it? 7, 6, 58. Oh my God. That's crazy, bro. Dude, amazing job. Amazing job. Uh now, if you're in the Wi-Fi money chat, we'll drop some stuff in there, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, like Warner was saying, is you want to give updates that the call's about to be live. Text every person that got registered. You need to have a list, first of all, guys. You don't freestyle this business. The more organized you are, the more money you make, right? But text every single person who got registered. Say, hey, the call's live in 55 minutes. Super excited to see you on there. I told my business partners you're going to be on there too. You don't have to speak or share your video at all. Just tune in and listen, okay? All right, guys, check that out. I'm say it one more time. Hey, the call starts in 55 minutes, or hey, whenever you message them. I'm super excited to see you on there. I told my business partners that you're going to be on the call. They're excited to see you on there. You don't have to share your video or speak at all. Just tune in and check out the info. See you then. Then, when the call's live, text every single one of them again, saying calls live, calls live, calls live. In both text messages, include the Zoom link. Okay. So I'm going to post the Zoom link, guys, coming up here at 8:30. Maybe possibly before that. But let's absolutely crush this call. Super proud of everyone that packed it out. Guys, end of the month, January run, huge ranks about the pop. We got $8 million Scottsdale mansions on the line. It's go time, okay? So I appreciate you guys all for tuning, excuse me, for tuning in, and I'll see you in 55 minutes. All right? Peace out.